Well, speaking of great new things happening, let's talk a little bit about VeVe. For anyone who doesn't know VeVe, what is it? How do you get into it? That whole spiel.
So, first time I met VeVe was almost 3 years ago now, and they were this little startup out of New Zealand. And at the time, I was looking at other digital collectible opportunities. What was amazing about them compared to some of the other competitors in the field was they really love collectibles. And you can tell their CEO, David Yu, he owns a bunch of different collectible shops in New Zealand, and that's physical collectibles. So he knew a ton of our artists that we work with, could talk about everything from statues to comics, the whole 9 yards. So just his love and knowledge about the space, it wasn't just about, hey, I'm seeing this new bubble emerge, let me hop in and make a lot of money. It was the opposite. It was like, hey, I've been doing this for years. And now with where the world's turned where, hey, kids are going on Fortnite, not just kids, adults too, are going on Fortnite and paying all this money to get cool outfits for their avatar. I think this world of digital collectibles is only going to continue to grow, and he was right. So yeah, they had the right mindset. And then the other thing that was amazing was I think from a user experience and their user interface, sure, they're still really early and it's everyone's a bit green, but they got it right away. Like this is fun. You have your showroom and how you can decorate it and connect it to social. It made the collecting experience feel tangible. And I was like, hey, let's figure out how we can work together.
Yeah, and to your point about them kind of getting it and actually being collectibles, you look at the suite of brands that is on VeVe, not just Marvel. And of course, having Marvel on there is the jewel in the crown for anybody. But there's cool Ghostbuster stuff that I've looked at a couple times when I've popped into the app or what have you that makes sense. If you are into collectibles, you're probably going to find something, that halo effect of looking at this, then brings you to look at this and look at this. And with that all in mind, what are some of the Marvel digital collectibles that you could find on VeVe?
Sure. So we've had our collectibles and comics being sold on VeVe since August. I would say we have 3 different major products right now. For the statues, we have premium statues. They're comparable to what, in terms of detail, I'd say of like a Sideshow or a Diamond Select statue. So really high-end, beautiful 3D statues. Then we have a more fun line, which is a little bit more of this is an industry term, but like the formed faces where it's more bobblehead-like, which we call Marvel Mighties, a new brand we created just for VeVe. So with the premium line, which we dropped, I think, October 9th, of course, we led the way with Spider-Man. And then I want to say it was about 2 weeks later, we dropped our first Mighty statue line, where we dropped the line for Captain America. And so since then, we've just been off on the races. And then on the other side of the fence, we are a comics company. So we're dropping about 2 comics per week. We're looking at some of our classic, really well-known comics with generally first appearances of characters, first appearance of outfits, notable events. And so, yeah, that's about twice a week. And what's fun about it is for all this stuff, there's a blind box with usually 5 different levels of rarity in the comics, each with a different comic covers. And it creates a fun experience for collecting. And what's nice about the blind box, it's a little bit more democratic, right? If you didn't have the blind box, then you're going to charge the highest price point for the most rare. And then it's really only about the rich guy who could buy it. And now it makes it a little bit more fair. And it's more like trading cards where you don't know what's going to be in the pack, but you hope to do the chase and get the most rare one. But either way, you're still getting a great piece of art or a great comic to read.
There was a recent, I think it just dropped, Spidey and His Amazing Friends, some of the Marvel Mighties, and someone on Twitter knows that my daughter loves that cartoon so much and knows that I have VeVe and I'm a fan of it and was like, yo, got to check these out. And I missed the drop, but there's also a marketplace. So if you miss the opportunity to get it when they first come out, hit those blind boxes or whatever, you're not out of luck. You can always get your hands on them.
Yeah, that's what's nice because I'm just going to compare it to comics now. It's much harder sometimes if a comic's sold out and you come in a few weeks late to go find that comic. Sure, you could go on eBay, but the secondary marketplace, it's all in one place. So it's one single destination. So to your point, Ryan, if you miss out just a few hours later, you could go into their marketplace. And yes, it might be trading for a premium, the specific product you want, but it is attainable. And look, the prices change every night and every day. So hopefully if you want a specific item one day, it comes down to the price that you can afford and get it. By the way, if your daughter and my son should hang out, if they're both Spidey Amazing Friends fans.
It's been really cool to see all the kinds of different stuff that's come through. Like I missed Throg, which I was very sad about. And there's been just some really cool stuff. What have been some of your favorite items that have hit the marketplace or have come out on VeVe?
Throg was up there because it was just, I'm talking about a deep cut character right there. And we're like, we don't know how the market's going to respond because unless you're like deep Marvel fans, most people aren't going to know who Throg is. But he's just so fun. I mean, anytime you get to use anything with like animals, it's fun. It's no different than people spending hours watching dog and cat videos on YouTube. It's just like deep down inside, it kind of warms all of our hearts. But Alligator Loki, to stay on the animal topic, was, I mean, talk about an amazing TV series. That was super fun. I thought this, I know you mentioned the Spider-Man Mighties. I think they're just stunning. And then lastly, I'd say it was really fun around the holidays, dropping both Holiday Deadpool, because we got to be creative and really making it as cheesy as possible in the best way possible, as well as we did Christmas Tree Groot, and we created a little jingle and some music for it. It was just, we all got to be kids again.
That's the best.
And for anybody who hasn't checked it out, you can find VeVe on your app store and online and everything, but there's a component to it, like a sort of AR component, where you could take if you have a statue, you can take the statue and place it in a photo. Like I've taken a lot of pictures of my kid with a Spider-Man that I got, and she just likes to look back at her hanging out with Spider-Man, which is a real neat thing. Or if you get some of the comics on VeVe, you can read the comics, which is cool. And the community is something that I think we've talked about here on Twim before. The community is really excited. They are really into it. They are really all about building each other up in a lot of ways. I've seen a lot of positivity come across just my own feed from VeVe fans who are excited about the new drops, upcoming things, finding things for other people. So that part is really rad to see as well.
Super, super passionate fan base. What's fun is sometimes VeVe will do these little hints to get the community curious and guessing what the next drop is. For Throg, they just sent a photo of a swamp. And it was like, guess what it is? And they're like, what? So they'll do hints on their social channels, and the community just has the best time trying to figure out what the next drop is based off their small little hints.
So what's the best way to keep up with VeVe and to participate? You download the app, or where do you follow along to get those sorts of little hints and things?
Definitely the easiest way is starting with downloading the VeVe app. It is on both iOS and Android. And then, yes, I would follow VeVe's Twitter handle, as well as if you don't follow Marvel's Twitter handle, start following Marvel's Twitter handle, where we both market out each upcoming drop. VeVe will then also share, they have a blog, a Medium blog, and it's shared on their Twitter feed as well, that gives more details about each drop. So the amount of units, the price point, talking about the artistry, the amount of rarities, etc.
And it's VeVe_official over on the Twitter. Dan, before we let you go, is there anything we can tease about future projects that you've been cooking up? I know there's one that you and I have been working on that is getting close to starting to be a real fun thing. I'm very excited for. I'm sure there's tons more I don't even know about.
I'll give it a two-part answer. One for the VeVe fans out there. We definitely don't want to just rinse repeat, so it won't just be premium statues and mighties and comics. We are definitely looking at expanding the program to a lot more fun things. So a lot more to come in 22 with different types of products. The other thing that we're pretty excited about, Ryan, and I know you're a key component of it, is we are about to start exploring the world of fitness, especially running. And we are going to be doing a partnership real soon with a company by the name of Six to Start, who's owned by a fitness company called Olive X, where think of it very much as gamified audio fitness runs, where you get to run alongside some heroes, and the rest you will need to wait to discover in the future.
That's awesome. This is way better than being chased by zombies.
Yes. So, yeah, Six to Start has an app called Zombies Run, which is, I think, Lorraine, what you're referencing. Yeah. I don't know if everyone always wants to be chased by zombies. I mean,
it's a good motivator.
Some people do. Good motivator.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Gets
that.
you moving.
Run or
Gets
die.
moving.
And that's the only way I'll run. So that also makes sense for me.
Sometimes you just got to save the day, which also means you got to sprint.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us, Dan. Everybody go check out VeVe. Go get that VeVe app. Go get that goodness. And I'll keep my eye out for Throg.
You can do it. I believe.
Thanks.
Thank you both.